Hello friends, it's Chrissy. Welcome to or back to my channel. It is now October, so it is time for me to do my October chakra check-in. I think that this sort of reading is too specific to do for the collective, so I offer my reading for myself so that you can see, have an example of what this reading is from me. This is one of my favorite readings to do for people, and it's available on my website. I don't remember how much it cost right now. I know in the middle of August, early September, I cut all of my readings and my Reiki sessions back to the price they were when I started to make them more accessible. I just noticed the sun went behind the cloud, so I don't know what this did for shadows for this. Let me close up a few things between. That didn't help. Anyway, this is available on my website for anytime you want. Birthdays, yearly check-in, monthly check-in, whatever you prefer. I use 2 decks for this reading. The first that I use is the deck that I created. This is the Narrative Alchemy Tarot. We have a check-in per chakra, and then for additional information, I use the Outgrow Yourself Tarot Oracle. Is an oracle to me. I don't read Thoth, so it reads oracle to me, although if I can figure out by easy glance what tarot correspondence it is, you'll probably hear me throw that in. The only difference between what you'll see here and what the reading entails if you purchase one from me is today you will just see the reading. If you purchase a reading, you will also receive a 20-minute or so individualized guided meditation to actually balance your chakras. I do that part for me, myself, after I'm done, so you won't see or hear that, but know that that is also included in the reading. So the first thing that I do is organize my deck, sort it out by chakra. I could have done that beforehand, but I didn't, so I will speed this part up for you. So some of the cards, I'm really not sure which chakra they belong in. When I created this deck, some of the teals look really blue, and some of the greens look teal, and this copy here I edged with the color of the chakra, so I can look here and make sure that all of these match. I also have trouble between some of the yellows and the oranges. That's just a production thing. It's fine, really. right. I think I did okay. So I have root chakra here. Sacral chakra, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. So we'll shuffle and lay one out for each chakra. So my root chakra, the root chakra is our center of our sense of belonging, our sense of security, pretty much like the Pentacles in the tarot. I think of like the root and the sacral coming together to form the root chakra. But root chakra, stability, security, having our physical needs met. And then we have the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra, the root chakra, by the way, is in the base of the hips. The sacral chakra lives, I like to think about a hammock between the two crests, the upper crest of the hip bones, and that's where the sacral chakra lives. The sacral chakra is our center of creativity, our center of community, our sense of belonging in an emotional way to ourselves, to the world. It's our emotional and creative center. Next, we have our solar plexus. The solar plexus is our seat of power and passion and purpose. The color here is yellow. Our solar plexus is what motivates us to do our work, to define what our work is, both professionally and interpersonally, but how we attach our sense of purpose and power and achievement, and how that shows up in the world. Our heart chakra, this is a big pile. Our heart chakra is just what it sounds like. Our heart chakra is how we connect to, how we experience ourselves and the world. Our ability to connect with others lives here. Our ability to set and enforce boundaries lives here. It's one that's pretty easy for me to connect with, but sometimes hard for me to listen to. Next, we have the throat chakra. The throat chakra holds our connection to our experience of truth, not only how we express information, but also how we receive it. The throat chakra takes up the space from like the base of the neck up to I think like the top of the ears. So how we speak, how we hear, and even what we see to some degree, and how that is filtered through how we use our internal awareness of truth to filter and experience that information. Next, we have our third eye, my third eye, I should say. Our third eye is our center of intuition, our connection to our own highest self, to our highest wisdom. And finally, we have the crown chakra. The crown chakra is our connection to source, to what is bigger than us. This is where I feel like I connect to not only source, but also ancestors and my guides. That energy lives in, comes from, is monitored and managed by the crown chakra. So the cards I have laid out here just mirror the current state of my chakras. This is not action-based. This is simply the information. This is a check-in. I feel like I want to start in the middle and come down today. So we're going to start with my heart. My heart is holding a lot of hope, and I am fairly certain that that was my heart card for last month. Have I? It was. So my September heart card was also hope. I love this as like the absolute anchor for my reading. Where do I share? Okay, I'm doing a lot of work with how I understand source and how I understand faith and how I incorporate the pieces of the faith of my youth that mean something to me, and how I work through this process of clinging tightly to what I know to be true, but still releasing what I know that isn't, but is still in writing. It's hard, but there's a lot of, I feel like I'm at this point to where this is the work that I'm supposed to be doing. As I go back over my life, I can see really like 5 years, like every decade there are like 2 things. Like I got married, and then we bought a house, and then I trained for a marathon, and then I became a life coach, and then I trained to be a yoga teacher, and then I trained to be a Reiki provider and teacher, and it's like there's this boom, 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 boom. And I'm really feeling like the phase that I'm coming into, I'll be 45 a month from today that I'm recording this on November 3rd, that the phase that I'm going into is really wrestling with solidifying my faith experience. So having hope here feels like incredibly encouraging. So we're going to move up and then down. So moving from my heart to my throat, my center of experience of truth, we have messy. This is my favorite card in the deck. So messy corresponds with the 5 of Wands. And what I love so much about that card, I wish I had one close to show you. And I think this was in the Tarot Disassembled guidebook. She talked about how one of the characters in the 5 of Wands is wearing a polka dotted tunic. And no one is going to wear polka dots to a fight that they might lose. The fact that there are polka dots, that someone came to a fight wearing polka dots, shows that it's not that serious, and that the mess is necessary, but you're not actually going to get wounded because someone came wearing polka dots. It's not that serious. So I really see the 5 of Wands as like, it's messy, it's going to be uncomfortable, but it's not going to kill you. And being able to relax into this, it's not going to break me, right? This process that I'm going through, the next piece of my sense of becoming is going to be messy. And the truth that I'm going to find is going to be messy, but it's not going to break me. Thank you. Moving next to my solar plexus, my center of purpose and power. I have revolution. I have the wheel. By the way, hope is the star. I love this card. I'm getting really excited because there's this sense of nothing is forever. And part of figuring out what my work looks like, and how I understand my purpose based on how I understand God. And so 2 things come to mind with this card. So when I chose revolution as the keyword for the wheel, it was in this, you know, it moves in a cycle, it moves in a circle, like the wheel takes a revolution. But once I got the deck in and held it in my hand, it was like, but sometimes we have to cause the resolution, right? Sometimes the resolution doesn't just happen on its own. We have to make it happen. And with having revolution in my solar plexus, and as this, the energy to like, I may have to push it along, that not sometimes we have to create the revolution in terms of like, you know, massive change and being the spark. Not only is the wheel turning, not only can I expect times of peace and conflict and peace and conflict and questioning and answers and questioning and conflict and answers and questioning. Not only is that natural, but there may be times that I have to stay on top of that. I have to make that happen. To not get lazy. Not only to not get lazy, but to not be afraid. That it is okay. So the current state of my solar plexus, this card is very clearly telling me it is okay to feel like I'm having to make it happen. And I'm really starting to understand that hope is at the end. It's not going to break me, but I may have to cause some of the ruckus myself. I think I want to move on this way. So then moving to my sacral chakra, I want to say I would do this more organized if this reading was for you, but that may not be true. I go where I'm led. My other readers, you know what I mean. Moving to my sacral chakra, my connection to my creativity, to my emotional body. And I have celebration. I have the Four of Wands. So I have the Four of Wands here in my sacral chakra and the Five of Wands over here in my throat. So when I see celebration and the Four of Wands, it's this representation for me of being able to, it almost has like the energy of like the Nine of Pentacles to me, being able to say, I am on my way, I am on the path, and I will celebrate the steps of achievement as I go. I was watching multiple people on YouTube hike the Appalachian Trail, and it was that, you know, celebrating every 100 miles, even though there were 21 of those celebrations to have, not waiting until I'm at the end of something to celebrate, and to use those pillars of like what is next to ground me. So whether it is a book that I'm finishing, or a consistent connection, a consistent practice to connect with my guides, being with my friends, allowing them to, sharing in with, that's hard. That's really hard. But recognizing that there is plenty to celebrate while I'm in the process. I don't have to wait until I'm done. Because really, am I ever going to figure it all out? No, it's always going to be a process. But I don't have to wait until it's complete to celebrate it. And then to my root chakra, my sense of security, my sense of belonging to the physical world. We have growth. I drew this card for myself this morning in response to the page Knight of Cups. In response to the Knight of Cups. So again, I said here that the four of Wands here remind me very much of the Nine of Pentacles, and I got this energy down here. So to me, both of these are about celebrating, recognizing the steps as they go, and I love that this is like what is in my awareness, that this is what I'm trying to do, and that I'm showing up here, and I'm showing up with my husband, and I'm showing up with my friends as a whole person, even while I still have a lot of growing to do. Even though while I'm in the space that's messy, I am still showing up fully present, fully engaged, recognizing the growth that I've done and the growth that I will do, celebrating the steps, my own and others, as I go, and not getting stuck in this messiness, not getting stuck in the throat chakra. My chair just made a big squeak. Not getting stuck here. And also, too, not getting stuck in hope, because sometimes hope can be a place that we're living for instead of living in, right? And I feel like the growth and the celebration are an acknowledgement that I am living in the hope and the messy. I'm not waiting until this clears up to live, and I'm having to set some of the spark myself. All right. This is pretty. This is, I know what I'm talking about. My energy and my hands and my cards, they know me. And this is just one of the reasons I love to read for myself out loud. And several of my tarot students have pointed this out to me. I can tend to be gloom and doom for myself with some of the harder cards, with some of the positive cards. I have a really hard time accepting, but seeing my handwriting and my cards giving me encouragement is me to receive that in a way that I don't know that I've ever been able to before. So I love this, and thank you for being here. And I'm going to move on. So to my third eye, my sense of intuition and my connection to my higher self, we have equilibrium. So we have another major. We have justice here at 11. And I really like thinking about this balance coming between the third eye, between the throat and the crown. That's not, did I mix these up? I did. Equilibrium is crown, I'm sorry, and abandon. But you know what? That's where they were, so that's where they're going to go. So even though this is a crown chakra card here in the purple, it's in the third eye spot, and then the third eye card is in the crown spot, and I'm going to take them. They showed up there for a reason, so I'm not going to fix them, and actually it makes a lot of sense. So having the equilibrium between the throat and the crown, having this my third eye, trusting my third eye to be that balance when my body may be telling me one thing and source telling me another, trusting my third eye to be able to balance that out. And then abandon, we have the Eight of Cups. This is a really hard card for me. I'm glad that was a hair and not a stretch, or not a scratch. The Eight of Cups is when we have to say, I see all of these things that that I've built, that I've chosen, and they're not working anymore. They're not broken. This isn't like a 5 moment. They're not broken. They're not wrong, but they're no longer for me. And I feel like this is just a big permission, a giant permission card, that the work of leaving it all and then deciding what I want to bring back in, that's, I feel like this is acknowledgement and support of my current place in my spiritual process. So I'm going to grab a drink of water. And now I'm going to shuffle the Outgrow Yourself Oracle, and we'll place, forget how much I love the shuffle of these cards. So I'll shuffle, and then I'll lay out an encouragement, a direction, a little bit of guidance or suggestion for each chakra from the Outgrow Yourself Oracle. And I always say I'm going to try to ignore the tarot correspondences. I'm going to try, but I'm not great at it. My intention for next month is to bring in, oh my gosh, I totally forgot it. The pink one, the pink and black one that the Lilifer artist did. I know you all are yelling this at me. The other oracle. The oracle deck from the Lilifer person. I bought it several months ago and gave it to my husband to give to me for my birthday. So it's been in my house not being used by me for several months. So my intention for November is to switch oracle decks to that one for my monthly reading. But who knows? Who knows? This one does the job. So thinking about guidance, additional awareness, something to consider with each of my chakras. And I'm going to go in the same order that I flipped the cards over, not necessarily the order that I laid them out. So we'll start with the heart, then the third eye, no, the throat, the solar plexus, sacral, root, third eye, and crown. I feel like I want to start here with the crown, and then we'll see where to go from there. So to balance out, the advice and suggestion for abandon is express yourself without limitation. The key word here is strife. It's not going to be easy, but this is giving myself full permission to talk about my experience, to not feel like I have to hide it in any way, to not be afraid of the judgment that could come along. But this is God telling me it's okay to talk about this as I work through it. And thank you. Moving to the throat next with this sense of expression. My word as a reminder here was messy. I have blossom. Oh, and it's the death card. What a, friends, what a stunning, absolutely stunning death card. It's like he's telling her a secret. Through the mess comes the blossom. I love this. And then looking at my third eye as the equilibrium, as the balance between the two. Cruelty is the highest pleasure. So balancing expression and blossom, but not pulling any punches. Telling the truth, seeing the truth, even when it feels like it's, ripping me apart. That I will find the overall balance. I'll have to sit with this one. And then we're going to go down, moving with hope with the heart chakra. We have trust your tools, the magician. So another major. So the magician here paired with the star. I love that. Trusting that I see this as I don't need anything that I don't have. I have the tools I need for a yoga practice. I have the tools I need for a Reiki practice. I have crystals and essential oils and cards and relationships. I have everything I need to do this deep, heavy, hopeful work. Moving to my solar plexus, my sense of purpose, plant, forget, harvest. So I have temperance here. I feel like this is a reminder that maybe this is not where all of my energy is going right now. That my sense of, I want to apologize for the lawnmower that just showed up outside of my house. Recognizing that this, my professional identity, may not be what is most important right now. That I plant, forget, I harvest, I do this work, but I don't have to focus here, which is completely different than the last decade of my life. Moving to my sacral chakra, my sense of emotion and connection, I have win and give. That again, this is something that I don't necessarily have to work that much at. I can let these two things simply be. I've done this work. I've built a professional identity. I've built a social group. I've built emotional literacy. I'm showing up as a winner here. And then from the root chakra for growth, risk everything to gain everything. That, yeah, I love how these two go together. How we have the roots and the crown, thinking about the energetic circle, the circle of energy, and how source is connected to the planet, and how we are the connector, the conduit between the two. Thinking of myself as being able to risk everything to gain everything, and expressing myself without limitation from the same posture here. I really enjoy this. So I'm gonna give one more card as a first step, as a way to move forward, as a where I go from here. And I'm just glancing at my from last month. And last month I had the Magician in the third eye space. So the Magician has moved to my heart, but the Magician is still in this reading. I think that's the only card that I had repeating in this reading. I did have, it looks like, which one is this? Looked like in my throat, or in my solar plexus last month, I had Explore Your True Self. I'm not sure which card that is, but that was also someone holding her own head. No, she's holding someone else's head. My bad. But as I shuffle for the last time, looking for a first step to embracing and experiencing this energy. And the invitation is the Queen of Pentacles. How do I start valuing myself? I've done a lot of work with the Queen of Pentacles for the last few months, so this feels very, very familiar. Very, of course, taking care of my physical body, my physical self, my sense of routine, my sense of ritual, taking care, again, of the roots and the sacral here, keeping this what it already is, so that this has a chance to grow and be widened. I love it. So this is my chakra check-in for this month. Like I said, I do offer these readings, except when someone else other than me does them. There's a 20-minute or so guided meditation to process through this work. How I do this for myself is I do a meditation for myself, but I also take the oracle cards and boil them down each into an affirmation that I do a tapping practice with at least once a week. Yeah, so thank you for joining me. I hope this was curious for you. Thank you for being patient as I share my own shit, and I'm glad you're here with me. Have a good day. I'll see you soon.